Hello, this is Graham Nicholls from Affinity Gospel Churches in Partnership based in the UK, and it's 16th January 2026. In the news a lot this week has been the country of Iran, that large populous country that has had a very pro-Muslim, politically in control regime for quite a long time, since the 1970s. And it's been in the news, of course, because there's been uprisings in the streets and then an effort to suppress those uprisings and demonstrations and so on, which has been condemned by various people in the West, including Donald Trump, along with some threats. Some of those situations seem to have subsided a little bit as I speak now, but it's unclear really what's going to happen even in the next few days. It's worth remembering, as we look at that sort of political unrest going on, that Iran is a very difficult country to live in if you're a Christian. There is both that kind of low-level discrimination and difficulty for Christians, and at times active harassment and persecution. So do pray for our Christian brothers and sisters in Iran at this time, that they would have wisdom about how to respond to the current political situation. Here in the UK, in the news in the last 24 hours at least, has been the defection of a significant politician, Robert Jenrick, from the Conservative Party, where he was Shadow Home Secretary, to Reform UK, which, although it doesn't have very many MPs, has a significant following in terms of the polls, yet to be translated into getting lots of parliamentary seats. Pray for the political process in the UK. There is a lot of division and, in a good way, perhaps uncertainty and an upheaval of the normal order. But we need wise, good leaders. And it's sad to think that alongside that sort of political story is a much less reported story that's going on, because it's a Friday as I'm recording this, and the assisted suicide bill is being debated again in the House of Lords. And I think much more significant than the machinations of various political parties is the fact that we would long for that bill to fall. As Christians, we think it's wrong morally against God's law, but we also think it will be bad for society. And we are hoping and praying that the House of Lords, which does have many people who have doubts about this bill, will do enough so it runs out of time and is not able to proceed. Thinking about politicians, though, and leaving and loyalty and all those sort of things, it is worth just remembering that as Christians, we don't belong to a political movement and we don't belong to a club. And it's not about personalities. If you're a politician, you probably do have some views that you hold, but you can shape those depending on both your own career thoughts, but also kind of what works. It's the art of the possible, politics. And so it is possible for someone to move from one political party to another. But with Christ and following Christ, it's not about allegiance to a set of ideologies, and it's not about loyalty or whether we can get on with a bunch of people. It's about our loyalty to Christ, and we express our loyalty to Christ by the way that we express loyalty to one another in the various churches that we belong to. Something else that I noticed today was there was a Supreme Court debate going on in the States about whether it's discrimination to stop boys, essentially those who are born male, competing in women's sports. And this particular news item pointed out the ludicrous situation where, because you can't in that context define what is a man and what is a woman, it's equally impossible to define what could possibly be discrimination against a man or a woman, because you haven't defined who those are. And it does point out some of the ridiculous, abstracted concepts that get created in this whole gender ideology debate, that it's against truth and it's against reasonableness. Just one other quick thing to point out, that there is a set of churches, Catholic churches in Poland, that have banned the use of Ed Sheeran songs, and in particular the song Perfect, at wedding ceremonies, saying it's not in keeping with their liturgy. Be really interesting for any of you to respond who are involved in churches as to whether you have a policy about using non-Christian music in services like weddings or funerals, or indeed in other gatherings. Do you have a policy? Do you think it's a principle? Do you think it's to do with the quality of the music, or the style of the music, or the lyrics of the music? What is your policy? I'm sure there should be one.